It's August of 1776, and George Washington, with the Continental Army, faced the daunting task of defending New York against an invading British forces. Let's talk about that on today's Shave. Yes, my friends, August is a very pivotal month in the American Revolution. George Washington, late July, early August, is watching the harbor fill up with British forces, and they're coming ashore by the thousands, while he is having defenses built up all over the island in the hopes of either slowing down or stopping the British invasion. What he's up against, though, is a fairly well-known weakness in our military strategy. It's that guarding and defending with static defenses against a maneuvering force is difficult, if not impossible. And that's ultimately going to be what we see happening in New York. What we're doing here, I'm not even going to try to talk about all the moving pieces. What we're trying to do is give you a framework to understand what's happening in New York. Think of when you're a kid and you're building a snow fort. You work all afternoon, you build a nice big mound of snow, and you feel like you are impermeable. You're not going to get clouded with snowballs. But guess what happens? Well, in my case, happened all the time because I never learned. But my brother, who was older and smarter than me, every time would go around the house, sneak up on the other side of my snow fort behind the defenses and pelt me with snowballs. That's ultimately what's going to happen with Washington's defenses. And it's something that's happened through history in one way or another. It's not different situations, things happen differently, but think about the Wall of China. Was a great big giant wall of giant snow fort, let's say, hundreds of miles long, built to defend against the Mongols. But what did the Mongols do? They went around it. That's what we're going to see happen in the coming weeks. Also, in the meantime, because we've been talking about what's going on in Philadelphia, but right now we're going to talk about what's actually happening. Georgia is still running short of supplies and men and money needed to defend New York. We're doing the best they can, but when you have 30,000 troops coming ashore, British and Hessians and all manner of military hardware and supplies, how's he going to be able to defend against that? He can only do the best he can, and he built a number of fortifications across Brooklyn and Manhattan in the attempts of at least slowing the British down. And we're going to find, without letting too much of the cat out of the bag, They did buy him just enough time. Ultimately, though, as we know now, we do lose New York for the war. It becomes a British stronghold. It is among the last to fall before we do get our independence some years later. Our razor today is one that I'm quite fond of. It's a little bit harsh for some reason, but I did give it a little bit of a freshening. This is a Henckels Friodur, which is a stainless razor that's cold treated. What they do is they dip it in liquid nitrogen to toughen up the steel. They do the same thing with gun barrel stuff and now, but this was quite a piece of technology to add to the straight razor world. Our soap today is Razor Rock's Caribbean Holiday. It's summertime. I'm thinking about a holiday. Of course, we can't go anywhere because Mommy works, but it's a great soap. Made in Italy. And it lasts a good long time. The matching aftershave is quite nice. It's got some coconut and some fruit notes to it. It's kind of hard to get now in the United States because of the way shipping is. So it might as well be non-obtainium, but might as well enjoy it while I've got it. That's it for today's shave. Thank you so much for coming. I do enjoy getting back to a little bit of history. We'll talk about how things work. And we'll watch the revolution grow into a much bigger thing. Like I said, thank you for watching. I'm Age Rich. You find me at shavingcontra.com. Please leave a like, subscribe if you're so inclined. Leave comments. I look for those things. Kind of gives me some kind of guidance of what we want to talk about. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.